No points for guessing where we are racing this evening. We are doing a fourth cat at Goodwood. It's taken me 2 hours to get here. Guys, welcome back to the What Life. Let's roll. Oh, Paul, I'm so pissed off. I had the perfect line. Dude, you almost killed me. Oh yeah, when? On that last corner. That journey was a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. I've never raced down at Goodwood, so I looped the whole area trying to figure out how to get in here. Finally figured it out. Main entrance, don't go under the tunnel, long and short of it. And apparently the track here is perfect, so that's quite exciting. We got a fourth cat race. We're on the quest for points still. I have 5 points after last week, after the weekend. It's Tuesday night. I need another 7 points. I'll break down the points for you in a second, but I've never raced Goodwood before, and apparently, from what I can tell, it's based on laps. Like we do 10 laps rather than time, I think. I'll get that confirmed. But yeah, looking forward to it. Fourth cat only, tear up Tuesday night, fourth cat. Let's see what happens. Thank you so much. That's perfect. Thank you so much. Right, I've never raced Goodwood Circuit before, but I did do a little poll over on social media about what's the best thing to do, any Goodwood tips. 60 people were like, top 5 wheels in the chicane, which doesn't actually mean anything to me just yet, because I haven't been out on the circuit. But I'm presuming that if those 60 people knew it, the 25 people that are racing this evening are all going to know it. So we did a few races where the last lap hasn't been too hot, but if the advice is to get to the front 5 wheels for the chicane on the last lap, it's got to be a hot last lap, hasn't it? Because everyone's going to be trying to move forward, because you're trying to finish before the finish, effectively. Does that make sense? Anyway, looking forward to it. Another race, and yes, I need 7 points. So this is my tactic, is I don't want to race for the win. So if you get 1s and 2s off the front, I'm fine with that, because I don't need 10 or 10 points, which is what you get for a win. I don't need 8 points, which is what you get for second. But I could do with 7 points, which would be third tonight, or any points tonight would be good. But I'm not racing for a win, I'm racing for a top 10. That's how we're going to get points. Right, the 4s are off at 6:25. It's 5 to 6 now. Need to get my arse in gear. Be good to get some warm-up laps in. Yeah, excuse the rush. Plan tonight is kind of sit in the group as much as possible. I think it's going to be a big and a good high quality field, so that's what we're gonna have to deal with, and that basically means that, yeah, I've been told that like the average speeds are like really quite quick. On the win space today, because I miss having power data on my race info. Yeah, miss having the power data, which I like having. So yeah, it's gonna be a quick one to get ready, get out there, and yeah. Who knows? This is different. I feel like this race, with people knowing, I mean, everyone knows not going to the last chicane. I mean, I've just been told that, right? Everyone's going to know that. So that last lap is going to be hot, isn't it?
Yeah, should be.
Whereas when I did Hillingdon, that last lap wasn't hot. It was.
And I was screaming at TV, going, "Someone just fucking send it."
Yeah. Should I have just sent it earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
if
like
no one's doing it, and it all comes together, and it's fanning out. Just fucking go.
Right, I'm going to go and do a warm-up lap, or at least a sighting lap. Got ready quite quickly, so it's only 6 o'clock. And everyone is saying, stay in the group. They say this every week, the brakes don't go. In the last few videos I've made, the brakes have gone. But yeah, looking forward to it because it's a bit different. You know, it's wide open. It's like Castle Combe, like a big racetrack. Right, I'm not allowed to film on the track, so let me go on, do a lap. Right, it's 1/4 past. We did one lap, not very hard, but at least we got a sighting lap. Could probably go and do another one, but yeah, I'm just not feeling that. If I'm honest, 2 hours of driving to get down here, and everyone just keeps saying, lead into the chicane, top 5 in the chicane. So it's not a secret, guys, but I appreciate you sharing, nonetheless. Not many corners, lots of leaning, I think. So what a perfect night it is tonight to go bike racing. I always find it quite hard coming to new circuits because it's like information overload. Lots of people telling you stuff, and you got to worry about riding your bike and figuring stuff out at the same time, which is quite hard until you actually get out there. Then you just start riding your bike and it actually, you know, you just hope, well, I hope it all kind of comes together. But yes, I mean, Goodwood's a nice circuit, car park right next to the track. Yeah, I really like it so far. We'll see how it goes. If I get points, then I'll absolutely love it. If I don't, then we'll see. I am looking forward to it. Just those little nerves, especially when there's more people, bigger races.
Right, it's like 30 odd of us tonight.
Yeah, the guy on the side going like that with his fingers out.
So I feel like it should be kind of quick.
Welcome to Goodwood, guys. This is Fourth Cat Racing, and this is a very typical Fourth Cat race. I'm not going to take you through a whole lap of this because, as you can see from the top on the little map, it's not the most dramatic course. There is a chicane, and we'll talk about that towards the end. First up, I hit some power PBs during this race, so that is good to see. I also raced this a lot more tactically, so people that come at me for, you know, not doing things right, I'm going to talk you through a few little things that I've changed. And the big change between this race and other races, it's less bike handling skills, so it's mostly, you know, it's power, it's being able to react. But the big change for this race for me was believing in myself and confidence, other than letting the brake go when that happens, but we'll see that. But I do hit like a 60 to 90 second power, 6-week power PB, which, so we're heading in the right direction. I get absolutely shown up trying to send it to bridge over. I try and shoot the gap and it goes completely wrong. Brave or stupid, guys, you let me know. Should I have tried it? Should I not have tried it? We'll come to that in a little bit. Goodwood, okay, what's it like as a circuit? And here's me just like pulling off the front. You know, we're not really doing any watts. It started out slow. First 2 laps, super slow, pulling off the front. Just let the group go by and get back in. You know, I didn't need to be front 5 wheels. And that was the advice that a lot of people gave me, was like, don't worry about being front of the pack, because they were basically saying that the brake never goes. Well, guess what happened? We've got a young lad in this race called Noah. And I did Preston Park with him earlier this year. There's a video on it. And I remember going up and having a chat with him afterwards in the car park. And I was like, dude, you know, how was that race? And I think he came like top 10, maybe 9th or 10th, something like that. And he was like, oh, I held 350 watts for the, I think it was like 38-minute race. They cut it a little bit short. And this is the first time the race goes and we react to it. And again, I will talk you through it. I have confidence. I don't worry about these things that much, which was probably to my detriment a little bit further down the line. But yeah, so Noah goes, oh, I hit 350 for the 36 minutes. Today, Noah held 373 watts for 30 minutes, and you'll see what happens. And so when I see Noah go in the break, this is why I decide to do what I do, because I know what watts are down the road. And as you can see on the course, it is a, if you are a TT specialist and you can get off the front, that's your dream. You can just sit on the bars, hold your wattage, maybe roll some turns with some guys, and you will do well. But getting away from the break seemed to be the hard thing. And here's another example of the break trying to go, as in a few guys at the front trying to take off the front. Apologies for the quality of the Insta footage this evening. I think I just rushed to get ready, might not have cleaned my lens quite enough. But yeah, it was basically looking like the front of this race just wasn't able to get away. Every time they get chased down, and there was probably a group of like 7 or 8 riders that all seemed to be up front. And the interesting thing was I was just happy to let them do it. I had a little bit of faith in them, had confidence in myself. Confidence is a big key word, other than when I try and make the break and shoot the gap. That I had confidence in it, just didn't quite work out. But there was a lot of confidence up until that point. And I will kind of talk you through what I mean, because a lot of times people say don't work for other people. And if you're in a race where the break is not going to get away because everyone keeps working, then having confidence in the 4, 5 riders, 6 riders, 7 riders that are in front of you is very important. And that's kind of the way I was approaching this race. I had a day off the day before the race, so my heart rate hits 182. And I'm not going to dive into heart rate stuff too much, but for previously having an HR max of 174, like maybe 2 years ago, to then get it up to 178, maybe towards the end of last year, to now hitting 182, I'm over the moon with it. And hitting a 6-week 90-second power PB, which comes when I'm trying to chase Noah down. But the confidence was definitely there, and I'll talk you through what I mean now, which is basically I'm sat maybe 6th wheel and we're strung out at the front, right? So it's quite good positioning. What I was doing is I was just letting people that were rolling off the front drop back in front of me, because there may be 5, 6 riders in front of me. I was determined not to end up on the front of this train. And again, apologies, we're riding right into the sunset and it's like 7 o'clock in the evening. I don't think there's much we could have done about that. So I had confidence in my ability to pull 10, 15 yards back onto a wheel, because I know I'd only have to hold that for 2 or 3 seconds, where if I end up on the front of the group, I could be eating wind for 30 seconds, 45 seconds. So a lot of the time, people were rolling off the front, trying to get out the wind. And I was like, well, I'll give them space and they can just pull in front of me. So I was trying to keep 6 riders in front of me the whole time. Look, there's me just dropping back. There you go, lad, reservation for 1, in you go. And then I was just doing that. And then every time someone else would drop back, I just make sure there was room. And then he ends up dropping back in front of him. So these 6 riders are just continually staying in front of me, and I'm just kind of letting them roll back in. And that's entirely on purpose, because I didn't want to end up on the front of this train. I didn't want to end up 2nd wheel. I didn't want to end up 3rd wheel. I was happy like 6th, 7th wheel out of 30, 34 riders. Like having a bit of confidence in myself, leaving a little bit of space, and I drop back then, but then the rider ends up pulling out in front of the wheel in front of me, and then I just move back on. And I thought this was actually working quite well for me. This race was one of those races where things are going well until they're not. Right? Like things are going great until they're not. This tactic is working well for me until it wasn't. Until Noah then sent it, and then I missed the move because I'm 7th wheel, 6th wheel. But up until this point, I thought personally this was quite clever racing. I thought it was quite a clever little tactic to do. And again, I dropped back this time. This guy had a couple of the guys basically realised, and they had no interest of moving back in. There you go, another reservation for 1, and just letting the guys come back in. And then I try and just let another guy come in, and again I think they'd had enough of kind of not really. Well, I think they're kind of realising they keep ending up on the front quite quickly, and then didn't pull back in. But leave a bit of room. Guy doesn't want the wheel. Fine, no problem. I just end up kind of putting a little bunt on to move up. But now I'm like 4th or probably 4th wheel, 4th, 5th wheel. I don't quite need to be here, so pull back onto the wheel. And I know you guys are going to say, oh, well, you're eating wind. Well, I'm eating wind for like 4 seconds rather than ending up on the front of the race and eating wind for 20 seconds, 40 seconds. this is working for me, and I found that quite good. This was the problem though, was we got to the start finish, the same 5 guys that I've been letting roll in front of me for however long, just letting them all in. I pull off to the side, I'm like, okay, well, doesn't seem like anyone's gonna go. 4 wheels in front of me, I pull off just to let some of the group come through, and this was my mistake because the timing of it was just so awful, is that I pull off and then dive back into the group. And I have to put the watts down to get back up to speed and back into the group. But this was the point when Noah, my young 18-year-old mate, who held 373 watts for 30 minutes, decides to send it, and then that's the problem. So Noah, I mean, he's young lad, probably entirely made up of Cheerios and pot noodles, probably weighs 76, 77 kg, just goes off the front, and he takes another guy with him, and then we see a guy bridge, and then I try and bridge. So this is him going. So Noah's off. You can just about make out directly into the sun. Cheers, Noah. So Noah goes then, the group reacts, whole group reacts, good reaction, we go with it. Whoever is on the front doesn't quite hold his wheel. So, I can't sit at 6th wheel and complain about that. That's, if I want to hold a wheel, I should be up the front. But then the problem is that some guy sends it down the right. He then makes the break. I think he ends up coming back. So one guy, there's now 3 riders just up the road a little bit. So we have decisions to make, because what I should have done is you can just see the watts come off completely. So we've got 3 riders up the road and the watts kind of come off and it turns a bit soft. So the guys on the front are like, oh, fair enough. They're like, well, I don't want to chase this down on my own. I don't want to keep chasing it down. So we're moving, but we're just not, doing the average that Noah's doing. You can see the watts come completely off here. This is when I should have gone. That's when instinct should have kicked in and been like, no one's doing anything. Go, 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 go. Because that's given the riders, the 3 riders now that are off the front, that extra kick to get another, 40 feet, 50 feet, 60 feet away. And that's what makes the difference when it comes to when I decide to go. Okay, so then we kind of hit panic mode a little bit because we see those 3 riders are now up a little bit. So it turns into a bit of a, just a flat out panic. A couple of guys go, couple of uni lads decide to push the pace a little bit, take it up, not really wholeheartedly wanting it. I realise that there's a bit of a panic on. This lad is just in front of me. As soon as he looks behind him there, I know he's not going to go for it. So I'm like, well, I'm going to send it. I have a little look back. I just go hard. And this is everything. 650 watts, 600 watts. Just hold it as 650. I just hold it as long as I can. This is when I definitely hit my kind of 90-second power peak, because the guys, and it's so hard, sorry about the camera, it's so hard just to make out that they are just round the corner. You can just see them there. 3 of them, rolling turns as we come down the hill. I'm hitting 50k an hour, heart rate 178, just having to hold on. I'm solo now, so I've got a break from the group, and this is me trying to shoot the gap. I probably left it, I don't know, hard to say, 40 seconds late. 40 seconds earlier, when there was that lull, they would have been 100 feet closer. Might have kept me on the wheels a little bit. I hit 181, there we go, 181 on the HR, like that's HR max. So I'm flat out trying to do this, and it burns me hard trying to do this. But I'm happy I did it, because it was, it was worth the shock, 'cause then I would have been up with a 4, and I could have just sat on for the 3. I could have sat on the 3 of them for a little bit, holding the wheels, get a bit of recovery, and then roll in. But 182 on the HR, still going. And this is when I realise, I'm not going to make it. I look up, I'm head down for a little bit. I look up, the boys are not getting any closer. They're rolling as a 3, rolling turns as a 3. Noah's and the other guys are obviously working quite hard. One guy ends up dropping off the group and coming back to the pack. But this is when I'm like, I have to, tail between the legs. Okay, right, we have to come off and let the group come back. And basically, they're gone. I've lost it. I didn't do it. Tried to shoot the gap. Brave or stupid, you tell me. Probably worth trying. Glad I tried it. Good for the fitness anyway. Like I'm super happy I did it. I felt good. Well, I felt horrible at the time. Paul comes past laughing his ass off, going no, 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 which was hilarious. I did love that. He kind of saw me try and shoot the gap. He's happy, sat in the group. I almost don't make it back onto the group because I'm so done over. It really is like hard work to hold on to the group. This is classic. Now we get into the classic Cat 4 racing, which is we're leading in. This is the penultimate lap, and we're just coming over the start finish. And one guy gets it completely wrong, misses the lap board. There was no bell. He's sprinting as if it's the last lap. So this is what's leading our penultimate lap out over the finish line. Is some guy thinks it's a sprint for the finish. So we're coming into the last lap, just about to cross the start finish, putting down the watts, being dragged forward by a guy who's doing a sprint finish. And I imagine that probably ruined his effort for the final lap, which we are now on. We now get the bell as he comes over. Poor lad, just kind of got it a little bit wrong. And to be fair, the lap board guys, you know, the RD didn't quite nail it, because when we went over the line, I think they held the lap board out for the first two that are now off the front, Noah and another lad. And then by the time we got to the finish line, the lap board wasn't really there, so no one really knew. So there was a few questions, but that's, you know, that's by the by. There was no bell. Bell's always the dead giveaway. Right, coming to the last lap, this is another classic Cat 4 situation. I don't know how this happens, but loads of people told me, you know, stay top 4 or 5 wheels coming into the chicane. One guy, Monty, told me that you definitely got to be kind of first coming into the chicane, but I didn't want to lead out the sprint, didn't have the faith to lead out the sprint, so I was thinking I'm just going to try and hold at least one wheel, so be top 2, 3, 4 wheels, we're good. The problem is that I get Zoolander on my inside. He can't turn left. Young uni lad just doesn't turn left. So we come into the right-hander, come into the left-hander, he just doesn't do the left-hander. So he puts me in the pit lane. So I have to launch my sprint back and around him and from the curb. And you'll see what I mean in a second. So my position is good. This guy comes over to the left. I want to come over to the right so that I can shut down anyone coming down our inside. So I moved to the right of him, thinking, okay, if we come through the chicane, I can sit on his wheel. And my problem is I just let his wheel go. I let his wheel go slightly, and here comes the uni lad on my left there on the BMC, and just doesn't turn left. So we come into the right-hander, those two straighten up, he just does not straighten up, puts me on the curb. There we go. I have to then come back, I come round him, he then starts coming left. So he's gone all the way from the right, all the way to the left, and then I have to go round him. I got no momentum, so it's just all watts, all work, and then over the finish line. I think I get 9th. Still loved it, guys, still loved it. Some guy just shot me off the track. Dude, you almost killed me.
Oh yeah, when?
On that last corner.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't come off.
No, it's all good, it's all good.
On the F1?
Yeah. You obviously heard me griping about launching a sprint from the curb. The uni lads, I love it. Just gun-ho uni lads, which was fun. Kind of, I'm not sure, I might have got a point, I might have got a point. Noah, get over here. Get over here. This is what an 18-year-old engine does. How was it, mate?
It was good, man.
Well done, man. Did you win it? Did you come?
I'll tell you what happened.
Don't tell me you got
I've got a story. I've got a story for you, man.
Go.
I've got a story for you. So we're on the back straight into the headwind, and I was pulling through onto the front, and I was like, okay, I'll flick him through, and then hopefully go to the line to sprint, because I trust my sprint. And then
What? So is this on the last lap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came flying out of my wheel, and I just wasn't ready for it. He sent it. Got 10 meters on me. I couldn't close it.
He did.
Yeah.
Coming up that last hill.
Yeah.
And then your little right-hander, then the chicane.
Yeah,
And you
he
couldn't
went
close
over
it.
the line, couldn't close it.
So it was just the two of you because you dropped the third, right?
Yeah.
Did you see me trying to make it across?
Yeah, I did. I turned around and I saw the lovely lime
Yeah.
green flying towards me, and I was like, it's over for us.
My heart rate. I'm 42 years old. That was the highest ever heart rate I had trying to
I'm
close
not
your
sure
gap.
what mine
I got
was.
183, which is an all-time record for me trying to close you down.
Mine's, I've got quite a low heart rate, but my max is 181. But that's working for me.
I'm 42 years old. I out heart rated you to try and close the gap.
What was the power line, man?
For that,
That's got
probably like a minute. I probably tried to close it on you. I hazard a guess and say it's probably one of my top 3 powers to try and close that gap.
That was tough. That
Yeah,
was
I knew that you have good watts, so I was like, you're gonna work that group, and I was
Yeah.
like, that's got half a chance of staying away, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
did. I came so close. I could see you guys up
Oh,
that hill.
it's the worst feeling,
I
isn't it?
just had my head down, putting watts down, and then I look up, and you just weren't getting any
Just
closer.
peeling away a little
I was
bit,
like,
it's like,
and then you guys were rolling off, and I was like, oh.
It's happening. That was good fun though.
Yeah.
You come down next time.
Yeah. I got run off the track a bit on the sprint as well, so I need to come.
Oh yeah, what's the bun sprint?
Oh, I was so primed for a position, and then young lad on the inside of me didn't hook back left on the didn't straighten up on the chicane, so he just kind of goes straight into the pit lane. So I'm on those I don't know what they're called, like the green and white curve, not the
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I was on the curb, like going boom 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 boom.
Like right on the outside, like one of the motorsport cars or something. Yeah.
I was like, okay. How did you drop the third guy? How did he end up dropping off?
Well,
Just couldn't hold on.
So that's when I was absolutely working at max, and then I put my head up and I was drifting to the left, and the other guy peeled off to the right, and he went to the guy on the right's wheel, and I pulled through, so he fell off the back, unfortunately.
Oh really? Yeah. Then he came back to our
I
group.
think he was working quite hard,
Yeah.
definitely, because we got 2 up and he bridged the gap, and he was like,
What kind of watts were you holding when you were just rolling? Because I probably tried to bridge at the wrong time. I bridged at the time. Your 30 minutes was 3:73.
I got a 20-minute PB.
That was probably when I was trying to fucking close you down.
Yeah. 1 minute at 500 is probably when you were trying to close me down, man.
Oh mate, good to see you again then.
Lovely to see you, man. I'll catch up on the YouTube.
Yeah. Well done, man.
See you later.
Right. Goodwood. I really enjoyed it. Like I'll be honest with you, I really enjoyed it. I'm going to apologise to that young uni kid that I might have been a little bit irate with towards the end of the race. You know, it's no one's fault necessarily. Running an old man off the road, you can't help it, lad. I enjoyed it. The race for the first 4 laps was like so chilled out that it kind of makes you think, oh, should I go for it? But you saw the way I was acting. I was just trying to let people come through. I definitely realised Noah, he's got watts. I knew he had watts, which is why I tried to make that break. Because when we did Preston Park, he told me what his watts were, like 350 for the hour. He did half an hour at 373 watts. This is 4th cat. That's strong going. So I kind of knew that Noah had good watts, which is why I had to try and make the break. That didn't work out for me. I'd love to know what my watts. I will try and check and tell you, but I felt like I had to put in like a hell of an effort. I had James Bonham, who messages me a lot with a load of really good, helpful advice. Had him in my head, and the one thing he loves to tell me is like, fucking send it. And so when I went for the break, hopefully you saw, I fucking sent it. I just couldn't send it long enough. I sent it regular mail, not airmail. So I couldn't make it all the way across. And then they were rolling 3 turns. But yeah, kudos to Noah. I'm sad he didn't get the win because he came home in second. But 373 watts for half an hour. That's above my pay grade. But that's why I wanted to be in his break, so I could let him pull me along at 373 watts. Anyway, the young lad that kind of threw me off the course, I was saying to Joe a second ago, one of the other guys that was racing, I was in a good position until I wasn't. That sums up that sprint. It was like I was in a great position until I wasn't in a good position. And then when I wasn't in a good position, I might have got top 10, might have got a point. I'll confirm that. I enjoyed it though. I'll be back 2 weeks to the next one. And lastly, a big thank you to everyone that comes and says hi, because it really does like alleviate my anxiety, especially when I'm at a place that I don't really know. I know that sometimes it looks like I'm a guy that walks around topless on YouTube and makes videos and is super confident. But a lot of the time I come to these places and just like everyone else, you get like I get really nervous at a new venue, just like not knowing. And yeah, I appreciate it. I met some really nice people, which is what I'm really enjoying about this season of bike racing. And that's what makes it all worthwhile. Right, guys, we'll wrap that one up there, I think. Isle of Wight on the weekend, 234, which I'm looking forward to. We'll see how it goes. Probably race it on the Windspace SLC. If you enjoy the content, guys, please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you on another one soon.